Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to take a deep dive into one of the most critical security issues in East Asia, North Korea versus South Korea, and the rising military tensions that are reshaping the Korean Peninsula. Just like reviewing a product, we will break this complex subject into different aspects: what it looks like from the outside, how it functions on the inside, how each side performs militarily, the safety features or defensive measures both nations rely on, what makes this situation unique, the cost in terms of politics and economy, and finally, our conclusion on where this conflict might head. From the exterior perspective, North Korea presents itself as a tightly controlled, heavily militarized state with a focus on secrecy, propaganda, and showcasing its missile launches and parades as a symbol of strength. The exterior image is designed to signal resilience and fearlessness, portraying the regime as standing firm against outside pressure. In contrast, South Korea's exterior shows a modern, democratic, and economically advanced country with openness to global partnerships, advanced technology, and visible defense alliances, especially with the United States. To the outside world, South Korea highlights its development and progress, while North Korea emphasizes survival through military power. This exterior difference in presentation sets the tone for how both sides are perceived globally. One is isolated and aggressive, the other is progressive but cautious. When we look at the interior, the difference is even sharper. North Korea's internal system is based on strict authoritarian rule, with heavy emphasis on loyalty to the leadership and little transparency about the lives of ordinary people. The interior feels closed off, rigid, and extremely controlled. South Korea's interior, however, is open, dynamic, and driven by democracy, technology, and cultural influence. It enjoys freedom of expression, high standards of living, and thriving industries, making it vastly different from its northern neighbor. This interior contrast shows not only the differences in governance but also why tensions exist. The two systems are polar opposites. Performance is one of the most crucial areas to analyze in this rivalry. North Korea has invested heavily in developing ballistic missiles, nuclear weapons, and a large standing army. While its conventional equipment may be outdated, its missile program has shown significant progress, capable of reaching regional and even intercontinental targets. This performance in missile development gives North Korea a leverage tool that keeps the world watching. South Korea's performance, on the other hand, lies in its modern, technologically advanced military with precision-guided systems, advanced fighter jets, naval capabilities, and intelligence sharing with the United States. South Korea's performance is enhanced by real-time surveillance, missile defense systems, and access to some of the world's most advanced military technology. Both sides, therefore, have different performance strengths: North Korea in sheer numbers and nuclear intimidation, South Korea in quality, precision, and alliances. Safety features in this tense environment revolve around defensive strategies and protective measures. For North Korea, its safety features are based on deterrence, the possession of nuclear weapons, the threat of artillery aimed at Seoul, and underground bunkers to protect leadership. It counts on fear to maintain its safety. South Korea's safety features are more transparent, including the deployment of THAAD missile defense systems, extensive training exercises with the U.S., and advanced shelters designed for civilian protection in the event of an attack. Both nations rely heavily on the concept of deterrence, meaning they prepare defenses not necessarily to fight, but to discourage the other side from making the first move. However, this constant preparation raises the stakes and keeps the tension high. Unique selling points in this geopolitical rivalry are striking. North Korea's unique selling point is unpredictability. The world does not fully know what its leadership will do next, and that makes it difficult to negotiate or prepare. This unpredictability gives Pyongyang leverage because uncertainty itself becomes a weapon. South Korea's unique selling point, however, is its strong international partnerships and soft power. Not only does it have one of the strongest economies in Asia, but it also exports culture, technology, and innovation worldwide. This makes South Korea influential far beyond the battlefield. While North Korea's uniqueness lies in creating fear, South Korea's lies in creating global engagement and influence. When we talk about price, we are not speaking of money alone, but the costs each side pays for maintaining this rivalry. For North Korea, the price is international isolation, sanctions, economic hardship, and the suffering of its people. The regime spends enormous resources on weapons while its population struggles with food shortages and poor living conditions. South Korea also pays a price, though different in nature. The constant need to prepare for war means high defense spending, mandatory military service for young men, and the psychological burden of living next to a hostile neighbor. Additionally, South Korea's progress is sometimes overshadowed by the ever-present threat from the north, forcing it to dedicate resources to defense that could otherwise go to development. The price is heavy on both sides, but it takes different forms. In conclusion, the North Korea versus South Korea conflict is not just about two neighbors with different systems. It is about two opposing models of survival and progress. North Korea survives through fear, secrecy, and military intimidation, while South Korea thrives through openness, alliances, and economic growth. The rising military tensions reflect deeper issues of ideology, leadership, and historical division that still shape the Korean Peninsula today. While both sides prepare to outmatch each other in different ways, the ultimate cost of escalation would be devastating for the entire region. Understanding this situation through the lens of exterior image, interior governance, performance capabilities, safety measures, unique strengths, and the high price each side pays gives us a clearer picture of why peace remains so fragile. As the tension rises, the hope remains that dialogue and diplomacy will prevent this rivalry from turning into a direct confrontation.